Hi, I'm Eric Bjorn. I'm an author. I've written 10 books, which you can find on Amazon. Here are some of my favorite books. Why Bad Things Happen to Good Parrots. That's a good read, especially if you're trying to figure out why do bad things happen to people, or animals, or anybody. Here's another of my favorites, Uber Nights. That's one of my most popular books on Amazon. I was an Uber driver in the deep south of South Carolina for 5 years. I've had naked ladies with toothbrushes get in my car, even roosters and chickens. That's a fun one. Here's my collection of short stories, Birds of a Feather. And there's also a great story in there about my cat Oatmeal, which you can also find on YouTube. And Waiting for Civilization, a series of essays that I published with Forward Progressives and Pathos websites over time. You can find that and all my other books on Amazon. Again, my name is Eric Bjorn. Woohoo! But today I'm going to read to you an essay that I haven't published yet, but I'm really excited to release. It's called The Gods and the Spider Under the Glass. In an effort to understand the mischievous divine beings that appear to cut in and out of our reality, as in an Edwin A. Abbott tale of late, I find myself weighing various human experiences, curious for any shadowy analogy that may emerge. Some see Christ in a piece of burnt toast. These days, I see the gods in creatures with the mysterious symmetry of 8 legs and 8 eyes. I also see the prankish and troublesome divine in ceiling fans and floral ceiling murals, but that is a post for another day. Yesterday, I spied a tiny jumping spider upon my kitchen counter. It appeared to be waiting to see if some human would come along and prepare for it a fly souffle. I did not have my chef's hat with me at the time, but I did have, within arm's reach, a cube-shaped magnifying glass. The 1 by 1 inch cube serves as a sort of holding area by which one can contain something rather smallish to a flat surface and venture a closer peek. This I did. The spider jumped about from acrylic wall to acrylic wall trying to escape, and when it paused, I examined its intricate miniature design. I could see its little spiky hairs. I could make out its eyes. I could even see it scratch its head, cephalothorax, with a front leg, as if it were considering its odd predicament. Something invisible was preventing it from hopping away from the colossal eyeball hovering over him. I intended the magnificent creature no harm, I assure you. In fact, I called over my 13-year-old daughter for a look at one of the wonders of evolution and natural selection. My daughter had no idea what was under the cube, and she bent down for a closer look, then screamed, "Oh my God, it's a spider!" I agreed. Amazing, isn't it? "No, it's awful, get rid of it." I assured her of its harmlessness and lifted the cube. As a compromise between my affrighted scion and Mother Nature, I had every intention of grabbing a napkin and carefully placing the little being outside onto my porch. However, I was bested by the more swift fight-or-flight reflexes of the next generation. My daughter grabbed said napkin and proceeded to squish the tiny little thing, dropped the napkin in the trash bin, then walked off to her dark, LED-lit teen cave. I was left stunned and stupefied. My instincts for reverence for life bowled over. Was it the end of the world? No. Had it been a brown recluse cousin, the beast would have met a similar fate with the sole of my shoe. But I had wanted to reward it with further life for allowing me the privilege of close-up examination. Then the epiphany came. Might here be a shadowy clue of the mischievous celestials? Perhaps there are gods who find us curious, who approach and study us with innocent intent, with every intention of delivering us to safety. And perhaps there are gods who find us appalling and mash us without a second thought. And perhaps there are gods who simply don't notice us at all and wander by on the way to the kitchen en route to a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. Perhaps these gods are one and the same being, or not. How they manifest their individuality really doesn't matter in the end when you end up spared or squished or ignored. These days, I find that all descriptions of the divine contain hints of true and untrue. I'm finding it easier to consider that there are really multiple personalities, individualities of the divine, if there's really any divinity at all. For now, it's easier to believe that there's a God who finds us curious and worthy of help, and one who finds us disgusting and worthy of being balled up in a napkin and sent to the landfill. But I can't just live with the mantra, God is love, because the gods are also unlove and the primary cause of suffering. And they are also responsible for all the loneliness and emptiness and boredom and ennui that any form of life is capable of experiencing. How I fit into all of this, I have no idea. But I did eventually get around to that bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios, and it was tasty at least. And so it goes. And that was my yet-to-be published essay, The Gods and the Spider Under the Glass. If you found that interesting, I think you'd find any of my 10 books interesting, which you can find on Amazon. Again, I'm Eric Bjorn. Thanks for listening.